Alright everybody, so in this video we have a very special guest with us and he is a Django developer. Now the thing is, I'm currently doing a lot of projects into web development, but I'm all in into front-end development. I know a lot of things from front-end, but when it comes to back-end, it really needs to be improved, and because of that we learn backend technologies. But there are lots of technologies. We have Merge Stack, we have Django, we have Flask, but which backend to choose? For me, being in AI and machine learning field, as we learn Python a lot, and I'm really good at Python in developing all the projects and algorithms, and because of that I chose to do backend in Django itself. And because of that we have our guest today who will guide us through the journey of a Django developer, how to get started, how to build projects, how to get a job as well, and how did he got the job without even campus placements and remote job from LinkedIn itself. So without wasting any further time, let us get to the video. But before that, hit that like button and subscribe for more such videos. And now let us begin the video. So first of all, thank you for doing this, and let us get started with our first ever question. As I saw your profile, we got to know that you are into backend development and you do Django and these types of things, and you are also in Python. First of all, for our viewers who don't know anything about Python, what do you want to say to them? Like, what is Django in simple terms?
Django is just a web framework like any else web framework. So whatever websites we create, so in Python we can create it using some frameworks, and one of them is Django. But we use Django for relatively heavier websites like YouTube, like millions of videos, right? So it is used for heavy websites. So that's what I can say about Django.
Alright, so Django is basically web framework for deploying apps and websites. So basically my second question was there is a lot of difference and a lot of people debate on the same topic, like should we choose Flask or should we choose Python while getting started. So I just wanted to know the difference and how a beginner should look at that and get started with which web framework for the backend.
Okay, so if you talk about simplicity, then Flask is relatively simpler because Django is like a battery packed framework, so it has tons and tons of information. So it takes time to learn it, and then also it is for heavier websites. But Flask comparatively is for lighter websites. It gets you started quickly, but if I say like you need to develop an authentication system or an admin panel, then you have to do it on yourself, okay, from scratch, or use some library. But Django, these things are built in. So there are lots of built-in things in Django that normal web development requires. So that's why we say that it is battery packed. And basically this is the one of the reasons like why Django is like used for heavier websites. You don't have to write from scratch. You get multiple built-in standard things from Django itself. And on the Flask is like a relatively smaller framework in comparison to Django.
Yeah, so basically does that mean because Flask is easy to learn, it has lesser features as compared to Django?
No, like it doesn't mean that. I mean, like obviously Django has built-in features more than Flask, but it doesn't mean that in Flask you can't do certain things and in Django you can do certain things. It's just like in Flask you have to, just like research a bit and then look like, okay, I want to do this, then there's this library, or like if you want to do something then you have to do from scratch. But in Django it's always the case like there is some standard thing to do that stuff. Okay, so it has all the basics of web development built in. And in Flask it doesn't have, like if for example I say Django has its own development server, but Flask don't have its own web development server, right? You have to use something like Gunicorn or some other server to test it on localhost or something. So like this is the main these are the main differences in Flask and Django. But if we talk about beginner level, anybody can start with both of these frameworks. These both are easy to learn, like there's no big learning curve. But in Django, there are more things to learn than in Flask.
All right, all right, all right. So I just want to understand that if, let us say, a beginner is there who knows only Python, and he also want to learn Django and Flask. So which are the resources he can learn from? Which are the websites, or you might be like watching some of the kind of tutorials and channels or
Sure, sure, sure.
websites. So
Uh,
which are the resources which you think that they should refer to in order to learn these web
Oh,
frameworks?
okay. There's this YouTube channel, Telescope. Okay. There are
Telescope.
So there are some pretty good like lectures on Django, and there is also one like coding with Mosh. So he has this ultimate course on Django that is pretty deep, and its free version is available on like YouTube. So you can just learn from these two channels. And if we talk about like some blog or I'll recommend like the creator of Django. Okay, so he has written a book. I guess there are two creators. I don't remember the name right now, but they have basics of Django. Like they have some book, and it is pretty good. And you can also look at some blogs from W3 School. There also there is Django blogs, so we can learn from there.
All right. So these are the basic resources to learn.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, so next thing is that, I see that, and I don't know that I have seen or not, but a lot of people also see on this or not. But what I saw is there are like two types of backend developers in our market currently. Like we have some Flask and Python backend developers, and on the other hand, we have that Mern stack developers. So I had just question this, like, do you think that at some extent these React or Merge stack developers are getting paid a lot more than these Python or Flask developers?
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good question. Like, okay, if we talk about opportunities, like MERN has like in current market, MERN has lots of like opportunities in comparison to Flask. So it seems like that they are getting paid more, but in reality, it is like you are using JavaScript for front end, back end, and for everything, right? So in comparison, you are doing Python Flask development, but that is only backend development. So it is just the question turns to like full stack MERN development is getting more opportunity, and Flask developers are getting less opportunities. But I don't think so. There's much bigger like scale like Flask MERN developers are getting paid lots of more, and Flask developers are getting paid lower. Like I don't think so. I think that it is all a game of opportunities. So if something has lot more opportunity, then obviously they will get paid more.
All right, all right. So next question was basically like, if you see the salary difference, you said that there is not a much more salary difference, but it's just that the opportunities for merge stack developers are a lot more than these Flask and Django developers.
Yeah.
And my next question was basically to choose between these two, like Django, Flask, or these merge stack backend developments.
Um,
Like, what is the major difference, and why people choose a particular of these things?
Okay, first of all, I'll say if your base or your core language is Python, then obviously you will choose one of the Flask or Django, and you should stick to it because if your main language is Python, then obviously you can catch more in Django and Flask than learning a new one. Okay, because it will take time and it will take effort. But if we talk about like your base language or your core language, or you have chosen JavaScript, then it is particularly simple to learn MERN than to learn Django or Flask. So I'll just say this: I don't think so. Like if a beginner is starting, and if he's looking at market like what are the jobs available, right? So then he can see for himself like which framework he wants to learn. But if we talk about currently, then I guess MERN has lot more opportunities. So we can start with MERN. And if you like Django, then why not Django? Like it's not like Django developers or Flask developers won't get jobs. It's like there are, but you have to compete with others lot more than in MERN jobs.
All right. So you say that basically it's all about choice that you can make.
Yeah.
It's not much more about that. All right. So basically, my next question was, uh, you have worked with a couple of companies as I saw on your LinkedIn profile, and like how did you get those jobs? Whether they were like
Okay.
campus placements or off campus?
Okay, no, all of these are off campus. So like I've also gotten on
All
campus
right. Yeah.
opportunity, but I haven't taken it. Okay, so the first job was the startup. So I worked there for a couple of months and then I switched to my current company, Conway. And in between, I have also worked on a freelance project, but that was just like helping my friend. So that was it. So these are the three companies that I've worked with. And if I talk about where I'm getting these opportunities, then my response will be like 90% of the opportunities I get are from LinkedIn only. So like LinkedIn is a big platform. If you try to search correctly, then you will get lot more opportunities than any other platform.
All right. So how did you build a profile to like get these opportunities on LinkedIn?
Okay, yeah. Well, first of all, like in the recent when my college was started, then I heard about LinkedIn. Then I created a pretty basic profile. Okay, and I didn't pay any attention to it until fourth year of college. Then we got this seminar from a company, and they were like telling us how to like optimize or like get jobs from LinkedIn or something like that. So there was this lecture, and I was like pretty impressed by it. And then I like decided to like, okay, so this is fourth year, and we have to find jobs. So like I started to create my profile. I started to send many more connection requests. Like I was sending lot of requests like until my limit was hit every week. And then I was also applying on any job. Like if there is a 50% chance that I have the skills that the job demands, then I'll just apply it. Or if there is a little bit of gap in experience also, then I'll also apply on it. Like if they want a 1+ year guy and I'm a fresher, then also I was applying. And so that's how I just little by little I saw on YouTube. Like there are multiple videos you can improvise your profile and you can get many more opportunities from this. So that's how I built the profile.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool and that's interesting, man. Like building profile and getting opportunities from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next up question was basically like I have personally seen for like jobs, like any jobs, uh, doesn't matter it is Django or Flask or other web development stuff. Like whenever someone posts, within a day there are 200 applicants,
Yeah.
300 applicants, and it is just increasing. And how can someone compete with those things? And like you said, you got opportunities from LinkedIn. So I just want to know that what exactly is the detailed process, like break it down in simple terms, like
Okay.
was from start to exactly getting the
Okay, so
job.
first of all, LinkedIn alerts, they are a great help. Like you don't have to do anything. You can just, search for a job. So for example, I search for Django developer, okay, and I can, filter it based on location or based on remote or on site or based on anything, right? And then what I'll do is there is a little button like you can on alerts for this search, and LinkedIn will send it on the mail. So what I did was pretty much this. I searched for a couple of jobs and then I just simply put the alert on, and then I was getting a job. Whenever a job gets updated in that list, I just get an email, and then I just open the email and just apply on it. Okay. So on applying, one of the things I see is like there are pretty much like as you said, like there are 200 applicants or like 300 applicants. Yeah, so the chances are low, but what the approach I followed is I was applying on hundreds of jobs per day. Like I was thinking like
Yeah.
this, like if there are 100 jobs that I'm applying on, maybe I'll get to hear from only five, but I'll do. So it'll be 5 jobs per day that I'll hear from. So I was going to the volume opportunity. Okay, so this is the volume approach. Like you are applying in bulk and you are not expecting anything from anybody, right? I was not stopping like okay, this person has responded to me or like they are getting job. No, don't stop. Like apply in bulk and you will get to hear from lot and lot more companies. That's the approach I was following. and it was working. Like it doesn't work when you like when you just blindly apply on any job. Like you have to also see the job description, or like it should match like 50% or above. Those jobs I was only applying on, and that hit the bullseye, and like I was getting opportunities.
All right, all right. So, if you are comfortable, like, how much did you get on your first and fresher job from this
Um,
web development stuff?
Okay, so it was like what I was targeting companies that will give like 8 to 10 LP. Okay, so I was trying that. Okay, and I was also doing competitive programming for it, and like I tried and tried, but like it was like the placement season is already on, and like I wasn't getting any opportunities from these companies. So what I did is I was also following this LinkedIn approach, and then I decided, okay, let's just find a job, and then we'll just continue the preparation, and then find another job that is like in the 8 to 10 LP range. So that's what I did, and I got my first opportunity from LinkedIn. That was in Talk Vision, and I got 17,000 per month. I was getting there, and after 2 or 3 months in the probationary period only, I got this opportunity from Conway, and that was in 9 LPA range. So like I said, like don't stop. Like if you are not yeah, yeah. So if you are not finding any job like in the market, then you can just hold back, first find a job, and then you can, by preparation, you can crack even bigger jobs.
All right, cool, man. 9 LP is not enough, like good in India. It's really
Yeah, yeah.
good. And so basically, to wrap this entire video up, I want to ask you, and if there are other people, like there are beginners Python developers who want to get into this backend stuff, which are the tips, or which are the websites, or which are the resources you would like to share with those people, like any hacks that you have learned for so much duration, like this really helps, man, this is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
interesting that you figured it out.
Okay.
So yeah, what are those?
Yeah, first of all, like structured syllabus is really, really important. Like, okay, so when I used to do this competitive programming, like I don't have any syllabus, right? I am watching videos here and there. Like, you should stick to one person. You can find him on YouTube. Okay, I won't say like you should follow him or follow that. I'll just say on YouTube you can find who lots of good channels. Okay, so there are like tons of good channels that I know. Okay, so follow one, don't follow multiple, because when you follow multiple, then you don't have any structured syllabus or any structured path ahead of you. So structure is really important. You should know like, okay, this is the roadmap I want to follow, and you should follow it to the end. That's the most important tip that I've gotten while learning. And besides this, if you are if you are learning any new technology, then just give it a 1 week, okay, to learn, and then you should start building projects in it, because without building projects you won't be able to learn it. You will just forget it. Like till now, like I'm also working, but like I haven't made a Django project like in like a 1 year or two, and I just forget like how to start a Django project. Okay, so I have to look it up. Okay, so this is what happens, like this is what time does. So you should always like create projects, and you should always like keep practicing. So those are the tips, like.
Yeah, yeah, sure, man, sure. I'm sure that a lot of beginners will get benefited with this video that you shared with today. And yeah, thank you very much for doing this podcast with me and taking the time from your schedule.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you very much again.
yeah, thanks for the opportunity also.